Hello there, the bearded burbler from down there. This week we've travelled a little into the chilly south to have a bit of a look at the little town of Oatlands, a very historical town, and would you believe I am standing in one of the few working windmills left in Australia. This one is really, truly amazing. Let's go and see what we can see. Situated just over 100 kilometres from Launceston is Oatlands. It is just off the Midlands Highway, like many of the little towns that have been bypassed, but it does feature such a wonderful thing as the Callington mill. This is a restored and working windmill. Even the bevel gears are still in operation. So this was derelict for a while, but it has been restored faithfully back to how it was back in the day. And it truly is something to see if you happen to be in the area. While Callington Mill is famous for its history, it also is now a distillery, and I was privileged enough to be there pretty much at the grand opening. They make single malt whiskey, very nice to taste. Well, wasn't that something? Anyway, let's go and see what else we can discover out here at Oatlands today. Oatlands, like its neighbouring town of Ross, dates back to the early 1800s and is a very big part of the colonial past of Tasmania. As you can see from the style of buildings, many of which are still essentially as they were in the 1800s, there's a lot of heritage value here. Sandstone buildings, sandstone walls, rock walls, and many of these buildings are exactly how they were, or very close to how they were in colonial times, like this council building. Many of these old colonial buildings are still occupied and used as residences, so as you go through town you will see a lot of that, and of course the churches are quite spectacular as well. Then we go to the little lake that's on the outskirts of town, Lake Dulverton, formed by creating a weir across the stream, and that is quite a spectacular little spot to sit there and reflect on that. Also associated with that we find the local museum, which has a great wealth of information and some really interesting sights to see. Also of note, about 20 kilometres closer to Launceston and just off the Midlands Highway is the little town of Tunbridge, which is largely abandoned these days, as you can see from the condition of this old shop, but still a wonderful little town basking in the sun. It's also famous for the convict-built bridge, which unfortunately is in a pretty poor state of repair these days. Well, wasn't that interesting? And like most places in Tasmania, there is a lot of heritage here. Here we are in Tunbridge, and obviously this has been long abandoned, but was a local store, and you can see that from the faded markings on it. Anyway, that's it for me this week, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time somewhere out there in what we like to call the 2 hour circle. See you then. If you like what you see, please subscribe or hit the like button.